Hey, beautiful ones. I want to thank you for joining me again for another episode of Moving Mountains podcast here on the Anchor app. This app has made it really easy for me to be able to bring you what I hope is great information that can bring positive transformation and change to your life. If you haven't done so, make sure that you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I want to thank you again for tuning in with me, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
If I can climb the mountain, then I can move the mountain. If I can put one foot in front of the other, and everything works in divine order. If I can climb the mountain, and I can move the mountain. If I can put one foot in front of the other, and everything works in divine order.
Hey, beautiful ones. It is once again Wellness Wednesday, and I am really trying hard to spend some time with you each Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday. Once again, my name is Trishina Barzar Hunter. I am founder of Moving the Mountains Coaching. I have a master's in psychology. I am a certified transformational life coach, certified life coach, and certified emotional intelligence coach. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that they used to say a lot when I worked in network marketing, and that is the same wind blows on us all. And when I used to be in network marketing, that was something that got said often, but it was said kind of in this light that, if you weren't making the most out of every moment, if you weren't accomplishing the impossible or what seemed like the impossible with your time, or you weren't getting the number of clients as everybody else, or making as much money as everybody else, somehow you had failed to do what you needed to do. Because I would hear statements like, the same wind blows on us all, or we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So how are you spending your 24 hours if you're not successful? And I wanted to take a few moments to talk about the other side of that. Because indeed, the same wind does blow on us all. And I found recently that things happen, like crisis happens. Several of my friends in the last couple weeks have lost their parents, their loved ones. Some due to COVID-19, some not due to COVID-19. And right now we live in a pandemic environment that none of us ever even imagined. But I want to bring it back to that same wind blows on us all. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. But on the other side of that, it's not about, who can do the most with that time. It's not about who can make the most money in that time, who can be the most successful in that time. Because just like the same positive wind blows, whether it's a nice cool breeze or, if it's raining outside, just like any of us can be successful in 24 hours, in 24 hours, all hell can break loose in your life. In 24 hours, everything can change in a blink of an eye. The normal that you had yesterday can be gone. Not a single moment is promised. And when I say the same wind blows on us all, I'm saying that none of us are immune to trauma. None of us are necessarily, maybe not trauma, but none of us are immune to trials. None of us are immune to crisis. None of us are immune to conflict or even loss. Whatever happens in your life might not be the same exact thing that happened to somebody else. But just because somebody has on a brave face and everything seems okay, or they smile when they see you, or they tell you everything's fine or okay, doesn't mean they're not hurting, doesn't mean they haven't had a loss, or that they're not struggling with something mentally, physically, emotionally, or they're not hurting. Because when we say the same wind falls on us all or blows on us all, or we have the same 24 hours in a day, it's also saying that we are susceptible to the same tragedies. Not a single one of us is immune to the tragedy that's befallen somebody else. It's just not possible. Doesn't mean that the same tragedy is going to fall on everybody, but everyone will at some point experience loss. Somebody will experience crisis, and what crisis looks like for one person may be different than what crisis looks like for somebody else. What trauma looks like for one person may be different than what trauma looks like for somebody else. So when you're hurting, or you're suffering a trauma, or a loss, or a crisis, and you want to throw your hands up in the air and you want to give up, remember that the same wind does blow on us all. The same 24 hours of a day are given to all of us. But also the problems that come with those same winds fall on us all. The traumas that come in that same 24 hours, the crises that come in that same 24 hours, fall on us all. Whatever I may have gone through this week is not going to be exactly the same as what you've gone through this week. You might not have lost a loved one, but you could have had an issue with a job, or in a relationship, or with a child. I mean, there's any number of things that could have happened. But then you look to a friend who lost 2 family members this week, or maybe another friend that got into a car accident and was injured. Someone else, facing depression, or hurt, or loss, or feeling like they're not worthy enough. Somebody struggling financially. The things that we face happen to all of us. Somebody else said, and it's been taught that you can't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 15, meaning, what you see on the surface with some people doesn't show the literal hell that they had to go through to get to this point where they are right now. So that's what I would like to leave you with today, that whatever you may be experiencing, whatever trauma, crisis, loss, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever's keeping you up at night, whatever's stressing you, you're not alone. There's somebody out there going through something too. And that doesn't minimize what you're going through and how you're experiencing it, because only you can experience what you're going through the way that you experience it. But at the same time, as those winds keep blowing, they shift and change happens. And just like you have this 24 hours, another 24 hours is likely to come. I'm not going to say it's promised, because we always say tomorrow's never promised. But with the winds come change. Not only do the same winds blow on us all, but the winds of change blow on us all as well. So just like crisis or trauma or hurt or loss come, they can go. And then prosperity can come. Blessings can come. A new relationship can come. Positive light can just fall on you. Or maybe a refreshing rain that's not so cold. I encourage you that whatever it is you're experiencing and the winds that you are in right now, just trust that the winds of change will come and bring something better with it. And just like you made it through this 24 hours today, you can make it through the next. Just keep picking them up and putting them down. Just put one foot in front of the other, because every step you take is making progress. It doesn't seem like much, but when you put all those steps together, you are indeed making progress, and your progress matters. Your progress is unique to you, and it matters. So I want to thank you again for spending some time with me today. If you enjoy what you hear in my podcast, please subscribe, like it, comment, share with everybody. You can find me on Instagram at Moving Mountains Coaching. You can find me on Facebook at Moving Mountains Coach. My website is www.movingthemountains.net. And as always, I know your time is valuable. You don't have to spend it with me. So I just want to thank you for that. And remember, every mountain can be moved as long as you are willing to take the first step.